Toxic feminine energy can be extremely dangerous if it goes unnoticed and it goes unchecked. So if you are noticing like strange behaviors in the women around you, it could be because they're still in their wounded feminine energy. They haven't done the inner work. They're not self-aware. They're still feeling very insecure about themselves. And so when you're in a state of fight or flight, when you are in a state of survival mode, it's hard to show up in a healthy way. And it's common that you're gonna show a lot of these behaviors that I'm going to talk about in this video. Remember to show compassion for these women because they are behaving from a very wounded place. So I'm not making excuses for them. I'm not saying that you should just give them the benefit of the doubt all the time, but understand that they're not trying to maliciously hurt you just because. They're doing it, they're behaving in this way because they're insecure, they're hurt, maybe they were brought up in a certain way. Oftentimes, toxic femininity comes from being surrounded by a lot of misogyny or being surrounded by male-dominated things like male-dominated households, or the belief that in order for a woman to have a good life or be successful, she needs to have a man. So that's where it is kind of rooted in, because when you feel like your happiness and you getting a good life or having a good life depends on a man liking you, a man taking care of you, a man thinking you're beautiful, a man being into you, like that then could cause you to act in a certain type of way where you are trying to knock other women down and always trying to be like better than other women, and you just want to stand out all the time. You just want to be the most desirable, no matter who you have to hurt or what you have to do to others in order to get there, because you're in survival mode. So let's get into it, all right? The first thing that would be the biggest difference of toxic feminine versus healthy feminine is how you feel about yourself. So when someone is very insecure about themselves, they're going to behave in a way that is toxic. Now, toxic doesn't necessarily mean like you are physically hurting others or sabotaging others. There's a lot of different ways that wounded feminine energy will manifest in your life. So the most common way that this manifests is through people pleasing. If you are very wounded in your feminine energy, you're going to have this addiction to control in your relationships. So you're going to need validation from everyone around you. And the easiest way to get validation from the people around you is by people pleasing, because you're living to please others. So obviously, you're more likely to get the reactions that you want to get. While a healthy feminine woman does what she feels is right, she is firm with her boundaries, so she doesn't allow other people to walk all over her. Sometimes when a healthy feminine woman sets boundaries, it can be seen as being mean, but this is often those same wounded feminine women calling those other women mean or insulting them or gossiping about them because they're setting healthy boundaries, right? So that's just a distraction, really. A common thing that toxic women will do is gossip. Gossiping is very distracting and can be very dangerous. So gossiping about others takes the attention off of you. So if you're constantly talking bad about this person, talking bad about that person, talking about what they did or that, even if it's not necessarily bad, but you're still always talking about other people, that is taking the attention away from you. So as long as you are thinking about others and talking about others, you don't have to reflect about yourself. You don't have to talk about your qualities and how you are acting a certain way or how you are behaving. When a woman is in her healthy feminine energy, she does not feel the need to talk about other people. If she does, it's because she is being affected by a certain situation and she wants to discuss how she feels. So there's a difference between, something happened to me, like let's say someone did something to me. There's a difference between me then going to my friend and saying, oh, I'm really hurt because this happened, I just feel this way and I feel that way, versus going to my friend and saying, I can't believe what she did. She's this, she's that, she's terrible. Don't talk to her. You shouldn't be her friend. If you support me, you won't be her friend. That's just like silly examples, but you know what I'm saying. Like, they're not going to go and talk about how they feel and their responsibility, their accountability. They're going to gossip about how bad the other person is. They'll talk poorly about the other person, maybe try to like gather a group and strategically say things about that person in order to put everyone against that person. This is what will happen so much in friend groups, especially if one of the people in the group is jealous of you. What will happen is, maybe she will stir up drama on purpose, or she will purposely trigger you. So you say something, or you step out of character, or you do something. She will take anything she can and use that to sort of slowly poison people against you so she can pin them against you. So you can start getting left out of the friend group or not get invited to certain things. I know a lot of you have experienced this, because in the videos that I made on the jealousy and envy, like how to deal with other people being jealous of you, how to transmute the negative energy or the evil eye, those videos are a little bit savage, a little bit controversial. So if you want to learn how to transmute all this energy coming in and be able to sort of turn the tables on the people who are constantly trying to sabotage you, then those videos are for you. So a woman that is in her healthy energy, if she has a problem with you, she's going to speak with you directly. So instead of having a disagreement and then going to her friends and talking to every single person poorly about you, she's gonna go to you directly and say, hey, you did this, I wasn't happy with it, like my feelings were hurt. She's going to confront her problems head on. She's not going to be shady about it and then go behind everyone's backs trying to poison everyone against her. Like, she's going to face things head on and be direct about things. She's not going to use like passive aggressive tactics and try to like be friendly to their face, but then talk poorly about them behind their back. This is all very shady behavior, and it shows that the woman is not secure in how she feels. She's not secure in who she is. And so she's putting on a mask to sort of get her way because she doesn't feel confident enough to be authentic, be honest, and still get what she wants and still have a good life. That is not a reality for her. In her world, she needs to manipulate others. She needs to deceive others. She needs to watch her back. She needs to be cutthroat in order to have a good life, because that's what she knows. That's all she knows. So the toxic feminine woman is constantly going to be competing with other women. She's always going to be trying to one-up other women and compete with them, outshine them. With your friends, this can show up as your friend like copying your styles, but trying to like do it better, doing something that you do, but trying to do it better. In one of the videos I was telling you about dealing with jealousy, someone had commented that when she signed up for a competition to win some prize that she wanted, and she told her friend about it, her friend all of a sudden also wanted to sign up and compete against her to win the prize, even though the friend hadn't really been interested in that before. This is very, very clear that this person is either jealous of you or they're just very insecure in their feminine energy and they feel the need to constantly outshine other women. So it's not that they don't want you to win. It's that they want to win. It's not that they want to bring you down, it's that they want to be above you. So if they need to bring you down in order to be above you, then they will. But more often than not, these type of toxic women will surround themselves by people who are obviously below them. Now, no one is below anyone else. It doesn't matter what your status is, how much money you make, what you look like. It doesn't matter, okay? You are not below or above any other human being. But in the eyes of the toxic feminine woman, she associates value with superficial things like beauty, money, success, connections, things like that, more like external reality things. So she will most likely surround herself by people that are lower on that spectrum because she wants to feel like she's above them. Those will be her close circle friends. But then she will also have a few people that are technically, above her financially, or maybe she perceives them to be more attractive than her. She will keep those people around in order to drain their energy, or in order to try to one-up them constantly, or copy their styles, sabotage them, or sort of try to elevate themselves to their level and then discard the person. So it's not that they want to be friends with them, because these women genuinely can't have real loving relationships. And I'll talk about that a little bit later because that's a different topic. But she will keep people around that she can sort of take energy from, take inspiration from, backstab a little bit. But then her closer circle will more likely be people that she doesn't consider to be a threat. This is also the people that are going to feed into her ego, because remember, her ego is extremely fragile. She cannot handle criticism. She cannot handle accountability in relationships. She cannot handle being triggered by other people succeeding all the time. So the people that she keeps close to her are people that feed into her perception of herself, or feed into her image, right? These are the people that are going to cater to her. These are the people that she can almost like insult them or treat them bad, and they're still going to stay around. These are the people that are going to kind of enable this woman into staying in her ways and not hold her accountable, because they feel like they're lucky to be in her presence. A healthy feminine woman will typically surround herself by people that make her feel safe, people that make her feel loved, people that inspire her, people that complement her personality. She's not really going to befriend people based off of their looks or their success, or whatever superficial thing. She's more likely to make friends based off of the energy, based off of how you get along. She's not going to make judgments and say, oh no, she's too pretty, I can't be her friend, because she's going to compete with me and make me look bad. Like, she's not even thinking about that. She's just thinking, oh, she seems cool, I'd like to get to know her better. Or, oh no, her energy was kind of off. Nothing against her, but I think I'll just keep my distance. Those are the kinds of things that a more healed feminine woman would say, because she's not concerned with competing with anyone. She's not concerned with being the best, or the most attractive, or the most desirable, or the most successful. She's more concerned with being surrounded by people that cherish her and give that good energy back and forth. It makes her feel better, right? Because this woman loves herself, and in turn, she loves everyone around her. So she wants to surround herself by people that feed into that, not necessarily to boost her ego or to just give her lots of compliments or to enable her behavior. She actually prefers being in relationships with people that are going to tell her the truth. She wants to be around people that are going to give her that tough love and that advice, because she understands that they're doing it because they care, right? She's not easily triggered by someone giving her advice or giving her criticism, because she knows how to process this and not let it affect how confident she is or how much she actually loves herself. So another thing that toxic women will do is defend men at the expense of other women. This is a very, very sad dynamic that happens. It can happen with parents and their children. It could happen with partners in a relationship and third parties. The most common way I'll see this is when the toxic woman is in a relationship and her boyfriend or husband cheats on her with another woman, or he's texting another woman, or liking her pictures on social media and commenting on her pictures, or he's flirting with another woman, or giving another woman any kind of attention that triggers the toxic woman. The toxic woman will attack the other woman. Instead of holding her man accountable and setting that boundary, ending the relationship or coming to some sort of understanding with the man, and then, if she wants to talk to the woman, maybe she will. But instead of doing it the healthy way, she attacks the other woman. So that is a very, very toxic trait that sadly I've seen a lot. And it's that women will try to attack other women and put themselves above other women in order to get male validation or male attention. So the toxic woman, is going to attack the other woman for trying to steal her man or be a homewrecker or be, any number of insults that people say that are just very rude, very demeaning, very degrading. And no one should ever say those things to other people. No. But she's going to do all that and then maybe fight with her man and have a whole blow up argument and whatever. But eventually she'll stay with the man and they'll stay in their toxic relationship, and she will be gratified that, oh, he chose me over her. So even though they're in a committed relationship and her man cheated on her with another woman, she is going to internalize that as, oh, there's a threat coming in. No, she's not going to be a threat in my life. So she goes and attacks her. It's like a very defensive thing, right? She's like being very territorial of her thing. It's a very much like survival mode. That's literally survival mode. So she'll attack the other woman and then go back to her home base, fight with her man, but then stay together with him and then feel that she's better than the other woman. So a lot of the times women will do this because they want to feel chosen. So even though they know this man doesn't love them or respect them, the fact that he strayed, or the fact that he was going to leave them or was disrespecting them, and then he chose to come back to her and stay in the relationship, that to the toxic woman is very gratifying. It's an ego boost. Even though there was a lot of pain, it's still an ego boost. Why do you think that all of these romance movies are so popular? When a lot of these love stories are really toxic. It'll be someone's cheating and then this happens or that happens, or it's like they go through some big argument and they act terribly towards each other, but then they make up. Why do you think these are so popular? Because it's all this uncontrollable emotion. It's two people who are, toxic, and that resonates with a lot of people because a lot of people are in that consciousness to where they think that's a love story. I used to be in that consciousness and I would watch these movies and be like, oh my God, that's so romantic. He left her for another woman, but then he came back. Oh, so romantic. And then it wasn't until I went through my inner work journey, and I'm still going through it. I mean, we're all going to be on a never-ending journey, but it wasn't until I did the bulk of that work, especially on my feminine energy, that I look back and I'm like, no, that's actually terrible. You don't want the toxic, chaotic relationship. You want the safe, stable, comfortable relationship. The thing is that what you think is passion and romance is actually just toxic energy. It's chaotic energy. And while there can be some of these traits in a healthy relationship and in a healthy woman, if it's too much, if you're too much on that on the end of that spectrum, it's not positive. Like, it's not going to lead to a good happy ever after, right? No. So the healthy woman will hold both men and women accountable for their part to play. So if a man in the relationship cheats with a random stranger that isn't friends with the healthy woman, she's not going to hold the random stranger accountable. She's going to hold her man accountable, right? Because maybe the stranger didn't know, maybe she did know, but why would she be inclined to care, right? But, for example, if the other woman is a friend or someone that is close, then obviously she would hold both people accountable for their part. But the healthy feminine woman does not act from a place of being triggered. She does not act from a place of trying to get an ego boost or trying to get picked, right? Like, the toxic woman is the pick-me girl. And then the healthy woman is the girl's girl. So if you've heard those like common expressions, that would be the categories. The healthy woman isn't here to pick women over men or men over women. She's here to take everything as it is and hold people accountable as they need to be held accountable. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about one more, even though I have more to say because I don't want to make this video too long. But the last thing I'm going to address is emotional control, because this is probably one of the most important ones, I would say. Being able to process your emotions is the definition of being healed, because all of these behaviors come from a physical reaction, an external reaction to an internal trigger. So the toxic woman will get triggered internally, feel so uncomfortable with the trigger that she will externalize it. So that will be through her attitudes, through her behaviors, through the ways that she treats other women or talks about other women or men or whatever. The healthy woman will get triggered, feel uncomfortable with the trigger, understand that it's a trigger, reflect on herself, heal through it, process it, and then she will communicate anything that needs to be communicated, or she will take any action that needs to be taken. She's comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's the biggest difference. And that goes for men, women, like children, everybody. If you can make yourself comfortable with the discomfort of being triggered, of feeling uncomfortable, of feeling like, why is she doing that? You know, of feeling jealous, of feeling envious, of feeling like you want to bring someone else down, or you want to hurt someone, or, you know, you're angry about something. If you're able to take a moment and let that feeling sink in, let the discomfort of feeling that be, and then process it, think it through, and then decide on how you want to move forward, you're going to be able to change literally every outcome. You're going to improve all of your relationships, and you can be in that healthy feminine energy, healthy masculine energy. You're not going to be in that wounded space anymore, because you're taking accountability for how you feel, and you're deciding on what actions to take, instead of getting triggered, feeling some type of way, externalizing it because you can't handle staying in that feeling, that you have to vocalize everything. You have to take everything out on someone else, okay? So being able to handle feeling uncomfortable and feeling weird emotions, that is your superpower, all right? So again, don't be mean to these women. Toxic women, they're not bad. They've been through whatever they've been through. They've been in the environments that they've been in. They're this way for a reason. And if you try to fight them, it's just going to cause more resistance. Show some compassion, set boundaries with these women, you know, try to guide these women in the right direction, because really they're just a hurt and scared little girl inside. Imagine if you have like an animal that's in the wild that has been like starved and doesn't have any food. They're gonna be like ferocious about everything. But, you know, an animal that has just eaten and is fully fed, is like, oh, I don't mind, it's whatever. So think about it like toxic women are emotionally drained, mentally drained, and they're in like that starvation mindset. And when you're healthier, it's because you've been able to fill your own cup. You've been able to feed yourself, heal your own emotions, fill your own cup up, feel that emotional fulfillment and satisfaction. And that is why you're able to now operate in this way. So when you see women that are still wounded, that are still acting toxic, understand that it's nothing against you. It's not that they hate you. It's simply that they're in a very wounded state. So if you can help these women in whatever way you can. Show them some compassion. Don't stoop to their level and use the same behavior that they're using on you, because that's just going to put them more in survival mode, and it's going to be harder for them to break out of that, right? And remember that one healed woman can heal thousands, hundreds, of people around her. Same thing, one toxic woman can downgrade and degrade hundreds and thousands of people around her. So the more people that you're able to heal with your energy, that's more people they're going to be able to heal, and more people that they're not going to constantly bring down. Okay, so the effect of you doing your inner work compounds and affects thousands of people, maybe millions of people, right? So if you enjoyed this video, send it to your girlfriends, send it to somebody else that maybe they could learn something from it, and just keep spreading that positive energy. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. And if you want to work with me, all the links are in the description. Okay, love you. See you in the next one. Bye. Mwah.